Eyes Wide Shut is a 1999 erotic psychological drama directed by the legendary Stanley Kubrick and starring Hollywood's hottest couple at the time, Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. Upon release, the movie was a success with both audiences and critics and continues to be loved and talked about to this day because of its dreamlike atmosphere and story, which deals with the secret society sex party. Apart from an underrated performance by Tom Cruise in this movie, one thing that I'm surprised more people don't talk about when they mention it is Milich's daughter, played brilliantly by Lily Sobieski, who was only 16 at the time of its release. Her character, in my opinion, is hands down one of the most creepy and tragic in cinematic history. We first see her when Cruise's character, Dr. William Hartford, goes to rent a costume to wear at the orgy from a store owned by her father, Mr. Milich. When the two first meet, Mr. Milich's store is closed and he doesn't want to let William in because it's the middle of the night. But as soon as the doctor flashes his status and money, Mr. Milich not only opens up his store, but also his true character for all to see. He's shown to be a very comical personality, and although it's clear that he's easily swayed by money, his appearance just seems to be that of an easygoing guy looking for a quick buck. And then we meet his daughter, an obvious minor having relations with two old businessmen. This of course sends Mr. Milich into a frenzy, shouting out that he's going to call the cops. Besides the obvious, what makes this such a creepy scene is the fact that Milich's daughter is always smiling. Throughout all of this, not once does she look worried or scared. We only see her with this disturbing, seemingly permanent grin plastered on her face. Just this scene alone was enough to creep me out, but I thought that at the very least her character was going to be physically okay because her father was about to call the police. Unfortunately, as we all know, that was not the case. Fast forward to the next day after the party, and Dr. Hartford is back to return the costume. Right as he's about to pay Mr. Milich is when from out of a back room we see the worst possible outcome come to light. Milich's daughter walks out with the same two old businessmen from last night. The horror on Dr. Hartford's face says it all. When he asks Mr. Milich what happened to calling the police, Milich replies that him and the two men managed to quote-unquote work out a deal, and even offers Dr. Hartford a chance to make a deal of his own. After this conversation, we never see or hear about Milich and his daughter ever again. It's how nonchalantly Mr. Milich pimps out his own daughter. How oblivious and almost happy she seems to be with the whole situation with that innocent smile on her face. How she barely speaks and we never find out anything about her, not even her name. Everyone around her just wants to use her. That's all we know and that's all she knows. Which leaves me, like with other aspects of the film, with more questions than answers. Such as, what led to this becoming her existence? What will become of her? And what kind of thoughts are running through that tormented mind of hers? All of this is why Milich's daughter, in my opinion, is the most tragic character in the whole movie, and why that scene where Dr. Hartford returns his costume was the most disturbing part of the whole movie.